All right, let's do it. Let's go
Uh,
live.
it says we're live.
We're live, apparently. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, crew, wherever you are coming in from. Let us know where you're coming in from. So happy to be here with my dad. We're just cooking with kerosene over here. And we typically talk before these shows, and so excited to talk about what's going on, how we're trying to make stuff happen and share that with all of you. It's like let's. I beat that horse, but it's like let's science this thing. Let's look at the let's look at all the advantages. There's going to be this is a jungle out here. There's red flags everywhere in all manner of different economic systems and tools. And in our society and law and what the man's trying to do to you and all that, and we just want to keep thinking big, and we want to keep thinking outside the box. And man, you've always been the partner that I want to do that with, Dad. So happy to be here with you on this Sunday with everybody. How are you, sir?
Wow, that was a deep and very thought-provoking intro there, son.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I aim to please.
Man, I'm doing fantastic. I'm fresh and ready to go. As moments before the show, a little backstage info for everybody. I dumped my entire lemonade full of ice in the forward region right down in there, like before showtime. So I'm active and alive, and now I have sitting on my chair, I think it's commonly termed swamp ass is what I have to start the show with. But the show must go on. So
we're gonna work through it.
We're working, yeah. It's sort of like hanging around in your wetsuit, after you've been surfing or diving. It's same, yeah.
It's same.
Other than that, I'm doing fantastic.
Awesome.
And
we already got the folks in.
Look who we have in this chat here.
What's up, everybody? We got Simon, we got Becky, we got Landon, we got Cormac from Ireland. God bless. Can't wait to get there and visit you, brother. Let's do that. That's on Brent's list.
Yeah.
Come back to Ireland.
I had no idea how many people from Ireland watch our show. I was blown away. I was like, because somebody commented last week and said, "Oh yeah, man, you're a big hit over here." And I thought, well, I'll check that. I looked into it. I was like, wow, like a high percentage of Irish people like our show.
Yeah.
I don't know why. You'd think they'd be more intelligent than that, but evidently not. So,
and there's some really good people in our space coming out of Europe, and so something so important for us to all powwow on too is some of the things that we're getting into, and some of there's more advantages depending on what region you're in. What if you're in America versus Europe versus Asia versus and so we need all your input. We want you guys to write to us and what's going on where you're at. How's it different? Teach us.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Well, I think XRP Slave put it best. The Irish are drunk all the time, so of course they would watch your show. Basically is what he's trying to imply there. I'm like, I'm good with that. Yeah, intoxication, it's good. Yeah, I'm all right with that. No problem.
They are lovely. They're lovely.
Grape drop, you're not late. You're right on time, brother.
You are right on time.
Yep.
Slave, welcome in, brother. Cisco Kid.
We got
the Wayne. There are many good Waynes in our
Yeah.
in our community here, but we got the truth in the house.
I've been known to drink a Guinness. Yeah, that's happened. I actually was a big fan of those. What was the other one I used to like so much? It was
Boddington's on tap, baby.
Boddington's. Oh yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. That was like a meal in a glass.
Yeah, ice cream sundae
Yeah,
beer in a
that was
glass.
really good. Yeah,
Out of the
Boddington.
can, no good. Can, no good.
Mm-mm.
Get it on tap, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, tall boy.
Uh,
That's right.
Cisco Kid is
Tall boy.
Wayne Littlefield. Is that true?
We got what?
Wayne Littlefield is Cisco Kid.
Whoa.
I should know that, and I don't because Wayne is a very close friend at this point.
I think he just changed that. I
Maybe,
think.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The
He's going undercover.
yeah,
I like it.
yeah. Oh, cool. Thanks, Wayne. Good to know, brother. Good to know. I should know that. I should have known that. But since we just met a couple of weekends ago, for the second time I've met Wayne, yeah, in person. Yeah, he was at the XRP show.
Mm-hmm.
Really good to have everybody there. It was so much fun. GA in the house. Yeah.
Yo.
Yep.
Welcome in, Grape Trap.
And
Been really loving the comments. Just keep it coming.
I just found out GA lives close or not too far. He's in the
cool.
SoCal region, I believe. Yeah, pretty sure. Frankie Sanchez. Can you post Becky's address in the chat? I'm really not wanting to do that because here's what happens, guys. People copy the address and they change one letter and it goes to their account, not hers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's rampant. So the way to get it is to go to alanstaple.com. We can put that in the chat.
Yeah.
Go. Joanna, put that in there. Don't put the link though, the straight link, because people, I'm telling you, man, people duplicate that and they turn a letter. They'll change one letter to their own wallet, and she won't get a dime of it. But yeah, I'd love to have it in there.
Cool.
There you go. Thank you. alanstaple.com, and there's a QR code. Jumps right in your face. Can't miss it. And I'm pleased to say we're at, I think, was it 19,000 now? Yeah.
Wow.
Loving it. Loving it.
Awesome.
And we're going to get her to 25 if I have to give away every single dime that we make in Patreon over the next couple of months. So, yeah.
Awesome.
It's good. It's a good thing, guys. It's a good thing what we're doing. What you all have done is something that people, I mean, here's the downside of it. You want to hear the bad side? Nobody really likes the bad side, but
we'll make a positive out of it.
Yeah, I've received a lot of outpouring from people who are in really dire need of money and help.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, I can't help everybody. You know what I mean? What's the old term? You can't make a sick man well and a poor man rich. Like I can't do that. You know, I'm one day if I'm a billionaire, that'd probably all happen. Even then, you can't save everybody, right? But I really want you guys to understand that I've heard from I'm losing my farm, from I can't work, I'm an invalid, I've da. And I happen to know Becky really well, and I happen to know Becky was helping a lot of people. She's been in a lot of people's chats, and she has a big influence on our space.
Huge.
And he's really cared when other people were down and out. She did a huge thing 3 or 4 times, came to me, and I did what I could to help other people's channels that had been taken down. And so I knew what was in her heart, and I knew who she was, and I knew what she was going through, because I kind of went through it with her a little bit. I mean, obviously not entirely, but yeah, it's unbelievable. Yeah. So Wayne Wayne, Crypto Truth, happen to know him outside of Crypto Truth. So when you give to our Patreon group, it will be going to Becky. So you can do that too. That's another great idea there. So it will be headed there. At least a big portion of it, other than, whatever little operating expenses we have. Yeah. B-Man.
Yes, sir.
What do you got for us? I got this whole big real estate thing in my head that I'm going to tackle later in the show.
Awesome.
So stick
I was
around.
talking to two of my best friends about, they're looking to sell their house pretty soon. And he's a real estate agent. And the two of them are a great team on it. And we were trying to talk about all that stuff. So I'd love to get into that with you.
Yeah.
Simon was first in the chat today. I immediately called him. And Simon, Cody, and I are going to work on probably about a video a month. And it's really about just breaking down all the different ways that we can kind of save and pay ourselves. And as Simon put it so well this morning, how to make your money have purpose. And all these avenues that we're all talking about, we're all finding, and what my dad and I are going to run on and try to science ourselves and get people involved if they want to in the future, it's all about finding purpose. And even more than that, finding advantages that the 99% of people aren't doing, not get rich quick stuff, not get rug pulled stuff. We've all gone through all that crap. We've all waded through that. We need to make this thing bulletproof for all of us. And we need it to be movable, and we need to be able to, have ownership of it, or legally not have ownership of it, And so those are things that we're just going to get into every person every day, how to even think about saving to invest. And then it's like, well, why would you sacrifice today? Why would I sacrifice my Starbucks coffee to, for something that's 6 years down the road? Well, it's having, it's making your own vision of what you want 6 years down the road. And then once you have that, it's like, oh my God, like not drinking Starbucks is easy. I'm putting it here. I'm happy to sacrifice for this.
Yeah.
And we have so many things like that cooking right now that we're just going to try to talk about all the different angles of that and the psychology of it. And, really, we're all kind of the same age too, and it's this generation kind of being like, okay, wow, it's only gotten harder and harder and harder in ways.
Yeah.
Legally and financially and all these things to get ahead. And so it's like, how can we make our own trustless systems within ourselves to get ahead, and stay ahead and secure it. And so
that's right.
Really excited to talk to boys about that.
One of the words sort of struck me a little out of place, but okay. We say the word sacrifice. It's like, well, am I really sacrificing or am I investing in me? That's a better word, right?
It is.
So one of the things to think about is like, okay, do I really want the coffee or do I really want end game wealth? It's like, well, let's see, maybe I'll make my coffee at home. Instant doesn't taste so bad when you start to see the accumulation of the others. So seeing the positives in it is exactly what you just mentioned, the vibration of money and the positive of it. And instead of seeing the world in lack, right? See that in its abundance. One of the things that a lot of people don't do is they don't pay themselves first. Guilty. Like we all do that, right? So that's what Simon's really good at teaching. I think IBC really promotes that more than anything else I've ever seen. So, but if you're the type of person that when you get your check, okay, and you're DCAing your favorite coin with the first thing out of your check, you're DCAing.
Yeah.
That is paying yourself first. That's another way to do it. And in that sense, it's just so cool. I love what you guys are going to do, because I love that he's like Generation X. I don't know what he is exactly, but like you guys are the couple of generations below, and like you're gonna teach people your age and younger, hey, this isn't impossible. We can do all this. This is not hard. And this isn't like, I don't mean to throw the guy under the bus so much, but that Ramsey situation of just stuff your mattress with dollar bills is just not, that's not it. That's not what we're teaching here.
No.
It's
The
hodl.
Fed and the banks are busy torching the value of all of that.
Right.
Right underneath our feet here.
Yeah. So if you're going to pay yourself first, don't pay the bank. Pay your policy back, IBC, obviously, or your, crypto. Get your bag bigger immediately. Yeah.
Yep.
And then figure out, hey, you know what? I got enough money after I already DCA'd. I can afford the Starbucks. I'm good to go. I'm cool with it. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, shout out Legend. Drive safe, my brother. Sean's on his way. I won't say too much, but he's on his way to a film shoot. And we all know our Legend. He's a superstar. So
yeah,
can't wait to see it. Super excited for him. I can't wait to call him and talk about it.
And he and I were on the phone last night, actually, and Legend has a treat for everybody. I'm sworn to secrecy as to not letting anyone know what it is. Okay. But it's going to be fun. You guys will like it. It's going to be
nice.
Cool. And I'm also working on a project that's coming up that's going to be really fun too. And that's kind of a little fun thing that I'm working on that everybody's going to be into. Cool. Not everybody will be into it, but I think you'll like and want to support it. So
yeah. Right on.
Yeah. It'll give you that warm feeling about A, sort of giving, and B, sort of like getting something from it. It's a great combination. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it, Truth. Dollar cost averaging and holding on for dear life. It is. And we all know from just crypto, it's the long game on this. And we're all so fortunate and blessed to have enough vision to where we gave, blockchain the time of day in our lives to understand it. And it's so cool to talk to people about it and the light bulb go off. I was just talking to my mom about it, and the light bulb's going off for her on it. And, now I can talk to her about all the different avenues and different stuff and the pros and the cons, and it's really fun. But again, it ain't get rich quick. And like you said, Dad, it's not sacrifice in a bad way. It's turning that psychology around of,
that's right.
I'm going to put this here so that it gains power.
Yeah.
It gains wealth over time for me. It's working for me.
And
I'm the boss, and it's working for me.
Right. And what'll happen to you, Simon and I were talking about this morning. What'll happen to you is if you stop the flow of currency coming to you, it'll stop. Like currency needs to keep moving. So if like you're only making money and you're not spending as much as you're making, like that can stop the flow of things. So investing is spending money, but it's spending money in you. So it's not like you're just stopping the flow of it, because the more that comes in, the more that will go out. And once you get in that stream and that flow of things, it keeps coming and coming and coming. And then you just assume it's going to come. And then you can call it, whatever you'd like to call it, universe bringing it to you, because you want more and you feel more and you're more positive that you're getting more, and it just perpetuates. It's really cool. Bob Duke 24. Yeah, thanks, man. Brent, he watched our show with David Outlook and has become fans of the show. Yeah, cool. Thank you.
That's awesome. We love David.
Oh yeah. And Judy.
Oh yeah.
Yep, Dave and Judy.
I'd hang out with those two any day. Any day of the week. And twice on Sunday.
Good people, and I can't wait. Every May I get to hang out with them again. How cool is that? It's like an annual. Yeah. So
Dale, hey Alan, do you have any suggestions on which cold wallet to buy? The only one that I've really dug into is the one that was featured in Vegas was the Ballet wallet. Simon did an incredible short on it. He literally quarterback questions with one of the people who is a representative of the company discussing it. So there's that. I have an extra one. If you want to reach out to us, Dale, we will send it to you. I've been looking to give that thing away for a while. And
I think I have one too, Brent.
It's Dale's.
I have one too. Trezor, Ledger Nano, I think it's in the manner and the way you use them. I think they're both right. You can. My favorite thing is to get a laptop, get everything off of it when you get the laptop, and only use the laptop when you're trading or putting coins in or out, and don't ever surf the web. Don't ever once even open the browser on it, and then get rid of the browser on it. And then that's one of the best ways, I think. You could do the same thing with a phone, smartphone, pull the SIM card out. I highly recommend it, at least like a third of your account. You should open a Caleb and Brown account. Now, here's why I'm going to say that. Because in these bull markets, everything just goes crazy. And maybe I believe the number is 10 days in Bitcoin. If you're not in the market those 10 days, you missed like 90% of the move in the last 3 or 4 bull markets. That's why you want to hodl and be in all the time, right? It's this weird little anomaly that happens in crypto. But in those 10 days, conveniently, the accounts can't get you out. The exchanges won't let you get out. And they shut down. It's like, then you can't. And also when it goes really cheap, you can't buy the coins. Like all of a sudden, if XRP goes to 5 cents tomorrow and you want to buy a load of it, you can't. That's the beauty of Caleb and Brown. You've opened up an account with a broker that will transact anything you need whenever you need it 24/7. Now, the other beauty of it is whatever coins you have with them are guaranteed. So if they were to lose your coins, you at least get the cash value, if not the coins back. So that's pretty huge. That makes having your own private wallet an important thing to have, for sure. Everybody should have, but I'm talking about breaking it up into thirds so that in case this one goes bad or that one goes bad, you haven't lost everything. Right. Diversifying with security. Yeah. I still don't have a link to Patreon or to Caleb and Brown. I've been trying to work with them. I'm working with Jim on doing that. He's also very excited about coming on the channel. He's talked about that. So I've just been really busy. I don't know why I haven't done that yet, but I will have them on one day.
Okay, I think you're asking us. We don't have a affiliation yet.
No,
we're not representatives of Caleb and Brown.
But evidently, a lot of people have gone to him because they reached out to me and said, Alan, all these people say they're from Staple Crew coming here. What's going on over there? What are you guys doing? So, but yeah, it's cool. Are they okay? They are not expensive, and now I'm going to tell you why. Atlantic Living, they charge if you have an affiliate link, they're 3%, I believe. Well, you say, oh, well, Coinbase is only 1.5 or point at times, depending on liquidity. Well, what you're not knowing is the price that you're getting at is a 2% spread on it already. So they're identical price. You think, oh, well, it's cheaper because it says on the screen. Well, you didn't know what the price was when you bought it at. You knew the number that they gave you, right? But there's an arbitrage number, and the spread is like 4 points to them, and they fill in blocks, and they're constantly filling the block above and the block below. And that's how they trade your transaction. That's how they trade it. You're not set. I mean, yeah, you get set at their number, but you don't know the cushion that's on that number. And the cushion is typically 2%. That's why they made, I don't quote me, stupid amount of money last year. Was it 30 billion or something like that? 3 billion? I don't know, 3 billion. Must have been 3 billion. Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. They make a lot of money. So don't worry about the commission at Caleb and Brown because you're paying the same price. Trust me. Yeah.
Nice. Joanna's got a contact for us. Let's hit him up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there
exactly. Self-custody is what everyone's goal should be. Agreed.
Yeah. Take it for a second, Brent.
You got it. Seeing what my people are talking about in here. Truth's got 6 of them. Something too I want to get into with Dad today is talking about blockchain. A lot of people have been asking me specifically. I used to do videos about the 5 elements of blockchain and getting into distribution, encryption, immutability, tokenization, decentralization, blockchain complete. And so people are really asking us a lot. I want to talk to my friends about this. They're curious, but what do I say? What do I get into? And we back and forth on this a lot. I think it's a blend of how it works, right? Like trying to explain the blockchain simply, but then how it works in nature. So, and that's a lot of what my dad talks about on his channel is how it's okay. This thing's out in the jungle now. How's this animal adapting to the environment? But now we're starting to see the institutional adoption and corporate adoption and government adoption and more people getting into it. So how is the environment going to adapt around blockchain? And I try to kind of get into that in every conversation. Somebody's just like, Brent, what's this about, man? Why would I buy crypto over stocks? Is a common one. And so I just hitting on different points on that, Dad. I thought we could back and forth on that today.
Sure.
So when people are talking to their friends and family, it's, you don't spiral off into nodes for 30 minutes and then you've lost them, and that might be something that somebody's very interested in. Then you can go down and explain decentralization and the network and why it's secure and all those things. The future and how it's going to work in nature and what we're starting to see is everything's going to get tokenized. When the big wigs of the world own all this stuff and they've implemented all this stuff, we're going to start to see it show up more and more and more in our society. And the more we adopt it and the more we use it ourselves, the more we'll see it, move across society. And so, like, we've seen examples of it here where big businesses, like the one I can think of at the moment is Walmart and VeChain, where they've gone and tokenized, and then they've tried to use blockchain to create an efficient transaction system and cut your losses on things that normally you would take losses on, or you would have to pay people to do, or you would have to and it's been incredibly successful, what I have read about it.
Yeah.
And so more and more adoption of this blockchain complete, I think that's the real value in it. So understanding how it works, once you go through what it is, then the kind of light bulb goes off a little bit. And then, like what you talk about so much with us, Dad, and it's how it's going to work in the world. Who's adopting it and making it kind of more of a reality, as far as us transacting and trading with day to day. And so that's what I try to hit on if I've got 5 to 10 minutes to talk to somebody about it. And you can get into, a lot of people have heard of Bitcoin and mining, so you could go down that road. I talk about public and private keys. It's like, how are these transactions secure, and how can you keep it secure? Understanding a private key versus a public key, peer-to-peer, borderless transactions, and how huge that is going to be. How much we've talked about that and speak about that with just XRP, let alone all the rest of them. So just wanted to hit on it today, and get us kind of thinking about the conversations we have. And I want to see people adopt this. I'm the guy that I don't care if the price shoots up to the moon tomorrow. I want to see people have it and know how to use it, and be interested in it. Because I do think it's a great opportunity for everybody now. I think it's a huge advantage if you own crypto and you know about crypto now. It's why we did the channel this way. My dad and I could have talked about San Diego Padres or reconnective healing, or we want to see opportunities and advantages financially happen for all of you. And we want to be a part of that community. And when you do that, you reap the rewards. People are coming to us with all these amazing projects and amazing things to do, and we want to share those things with you guys too. It's all about sharing the gold nuggets here.
Yeah.
And even sometimes it's like, this whole week I've just been cooking on that, Dad. It's like learning rethinking about the basics. And the more people know, like, that I work with, that I have a channel about this, the more interested they're getting. They're like, dude, what's the name of your channel? Dude, what do you talk about? Dude,
Yeah, that's
right. So what's that? And I'm sure it's the same for all of you, discussing your passion about, your ownership of it and the future of it and what we know is coming down the road.
Yeah. No, that's so well said. It's up to people like us to keep an open, simple mind about it. We can't get too complicated, because for whatever the reason is, look at the internet. How many people really know how it works? Not that many. They don't really care. They don't want to even hear how it works. They just want you to work it. So we just got to remember, some people are curious. Some people are curious in a manner of just trying to prove it wrong all the time.
Right.
And those are the people that when they fall the hardest. Those are the people that get it. They're like, I tried. My favorite example is my guy at my hardware store. He tried to tell me it was crooked and wrong and corrupted and all these problems. And then I walked in the door one day and he just finally looked at me and he goes, this thing isn't going away, really, is it? And I said, no, it
No.
mathematically is not going away. So, yeah. Do you?
It's the big cat in the jungle. Right. I'm with you, Dad. I think the only reason to explain how it works is to try to help people, show them how it's such a different system than what we know and what we've been doing.
Yeah.
And how we've allowed our ownership and our rights and our value to just blow off into the wind. However, however, insert any government, insert any country, however they want to do it.
Yeah, I need to address this one right here because we get this one a lot, mostly from XRP people. Bitcoin is math. Bitcoin is not centralized. And if you don't understand what I just said right there, you need to do a little bit more homework. It's math. There's no central. How would you centralize something that is just code? And then a lot of people tell me, oh, well, they're going to own all the Bitcoin, Alan. And I said, well, good luck with that. I mean, yeah, maybe I think that's probably going to happen, but maybe outside of my lifetime.
Yeah.
And even when that happens, it's not going to be a means of trade in that sense. It's going to be far too valuable to be traded for coffee. It's already that. Like if you haven't learned from the pizza guy that you should hang on to your Bitcoin by now, then you're not really paying attention, are you? You're just sort of like, okay, but to answer the second half of the question, an ETF for XRP, I did a video on this. I did 3 videos on this. This is a complicated answer. And in the sense that it will be an ETF. It's not maybe. And virtually all the crypto will be ETFs, the ones that make it. I really think it's a positive because here's why, guys. If you just want all the crypto guys to understand crypto and get crypto and we all get rich, great. Okay. But if you want global adoption, there's simply too many wealthy institutions and financial people who aren't going to play with a wallet. They're not going to grab a Nano S and run a corporation. That's not what they're going to do. So they have to have it in a different form. Every time, and I said this a long time ago and people didn't believe me when I said it, but you have to have an ETF before you can have an options market. And the options market is really the market you want because it's true, pure trading. Futures market is complete corruption. Always has been. That's how they ruin farmers and markets and ranchers. That's how they control the price of things. Well, that's all we've had in crypto, in particular Bitcoin, since the crash of 2017. As soon as the futures market came online, it went from $20,000 to $3,500. That's how they did it. Well, with a ETF market, ETFs are purchased and held for generations. See, that's the difference. But the options market is going to bring in financial speculation with franchises of the numbers that Wayne was just talking about, which is the capital of the world, which is hundreds of trillions of dollars is coming to the market. It won't come through the ETF. It will a little bit, but that bump, that hard hit from corporate money is going to be holding it as a collateral and loaning against it, but running options on it is massive. And then you run into then you get into the gauntlet of derivatives and all the rest of it. And and it becomes mainstream. So it's a great question. No, I do not think Bitcoin is centralized. The only people that say that don't really understand Bitcoin. That's all I got to say about that. Sorry, a lot of people don't understand Bitcoin, and I understand why, because they think that they've missed the boat, and maybe they're right about that. Maybe they've already missed the boat, and and honestly, if I only had $1,000 to invest in crypto, I'd put it in XRP. I wouldn't put it in Bitcoin, but that's just me. That's how I feel about it. Yeah. What else have we got in here? We got some great. Oh,
what do you got?
I wanted to talk about the Chinese real estate real quick.
Okay.
For those of you who missed it, the Chinese just spent, I think it was $58 billion on treasuries. Well, there's been a bunch of talk with a lot of people lately. I'm going to say in the last 5 years in particular, I've been following it for over 10, about the BRICS nations. And the BRICS nations getting away from the dollar and not trading the dollar. But something happened last week, and that hadn't happened in 2 years. And that was the Chinese bought treasuries. And you say, wow, I thought they were selling treasuries and all the BRICS nations were getting out of the US dollar and they don't need it anymore. And we don't like that. And we're running away from it. And look, America is going to crash. The dollar is going to go to zero and we're not going to trade in the US dollar anymore. No, that pretty much proved that is a longer one day that will happen. Probably it won't ever happen as long as there's going to be banks. Because let's remember, the whole world got out of the British pound and it's still around, right? Mm-hmm. So what I mean by this whole thing is what they did with that $58 billion is now they're going to allow the Chinese people to refinance at a lower rate because their entire real estate market is upside down. It's been crushed and they know it. So if you look back at what happened to the US in particular, not even in Canada or Australia or China, Hong Kong for that matter, only in the US in 2008, we had our banking problem that was essentially a Wall Street issue and a banking issue that was bailed out by the US government, and no bankers went to jail, as we all know, and they all got bailed out. But who got thrown out on the street? You and me. We had the sheriff come to our house and say, it's eviction day and you're out, and bank gets your house. When the bank got bailed out and Wall Street got bailed out, but the citizens of America did not. What's happened this week is revolutionary in the future of what I think is coming. China decided, I'm going to bail the citizens out, not the bank. Gee, what a concept. Those mean old, communist people are just terrible people, except for they're taking care of their citizens, not the banks. Well, which anybody who understands math, if you give the money to the people and you lower their payments, they're going to spend the money in the economy, which all their money, when they make money in the economy or spend it, goes to the banks. Which is what all of us that knew anything about money back in 2008 were saying, well, why give it to the banks? If you just give it to us, we're going to just put it in the bank.
Right.
All of that makes simple, logical sense. Well, they are doing that, but they're doing it with the support of the US Treasury market because they're flat broke and they're not the superpower of the financial world going forward. I'm not saying the US is, but I'm saying a lot of people saying, oh, well, now it's China and Russia and they're going to run off and run the world. It's like, well, not so fast, because that's what's up on that. Again, my take on it, my belief on what's happening there. But it's very, very interesting time in the real estate market. Now, what's that going to do for the Chinese people? It's going to free up all that. Their payments are going to go from $1,000 a month to $600 or $700 a month. Sure, they're going to be further in debt probably, but I mean, that's, I don't know, 500 million people that are going to have $400 or $500 extra to spend. That adds up. That's global economy.
Mm-hmm.
They've lost a lot of jobs, so they need the help, and then they're going to get that help, and that's going to kick in new jobs, because what do we know about the US dollar? The Dixie is in the decline. And I know it leveled off, kind of bumped up a little bit in the last couple of days. That thing is headed sub 100. And when it does, it is going to make a significant difference to all the countries that produce goods around the world. And it's going to put people back to work. That's kind of what my last video was about.
I love it, man. I've been listening to you talk about that for a long time. And I want to say that was your prediction or your hope, Dad, like 9 months ago. And I was thinking the same thing. It was like, man, when push comes to shove here in China, where are they gonna put the money? You know, where are they gonna print it? Where are they gonna put it? And fundamentally, I feel like it's you can just give it all back to the banks, and then what are they gonna do with it? What are they gonna do with the economy? What are they gonna do with the infrastructure? What are they gonna do with? It's usually a big goose egg or a really bad decision for people, right? Which is how they got into the whole mess in the first place. Or you give it to the people, and the people create new jobs, and the people build up the infrastructure, and businesses open back up, and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
It just always seems like a no-brainer to me to
It
give
does.
it to the people. I don't.
Yeah.
It's why I scratch my head over corruption.
Yeah.
You know, I think we all do. It's like, wow, that's the decision that you made. You know, make the make the banks whole again. Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Right.
Like you said, it ends up back there anyway. And so why wouldn't you run it through the people?
Yeah. And I mean, unless you're an IBC educated individual, and if you stick around this channel and you stick around Tuesday nights, you will be, and you'll understand that you can be your own bank. You don't need to have a bank. You can be the banker, and you can be in charge of your own assets going forward. So it's really, it's time we got out of their system. We're all too smart. If you're watching this channel or you watch my channel, you understand money way better than 90% of the people on this planet. Way better. And some of you even better than I do. So like, you people got this. And you will get the IBC concept, and you'll work it, and you'll understand it, and you'll love it. I just know you will, because when the light bulb moment hits you, you're going to be like, oh, I got it. Now I get it. Then you have to apply it. And once you apply it a little bit, it pays off. Perpetual. It just hits you. Yeah. Man,
our shout out, OG was in here. Shout out to Ghost Money. Shout out to Cody's in here right now for a minute. To Money Paradise, and to our friends at Dipito. I just the content you all are putting out, you're doing such a good job.
Crushing
and to be our brother and sister channels in this, and
yeah,
for you guys to feature us, and for us to have you on our channel, and it's just so cool.
Yeah.
The interviews on Dipito, and the thoughts and the in-depth thinking that you're hearing from Money Paradise and the OG and on Ghost Money is just awesome. It's so cool to hear from all of you. It's why this chat and this is the fun day.
Yep.
Because like my dad said, it's like, man, you guys know a lot about this, and we are smart enough to pull this off. We're smart enough to pull that off right there.
There you go, Wayne. That is the book.
It's so good.
That's the book you want. It's 90 pages, guys. It's nothing. It's
easy.
Gold is what it is. Pure gold. And we're just helping you figure out what to do with money and how money works. And that man taught me more in 90 pages than I knew in the previous 20 years.
Yeah.
How it works, what to use, how to use it.
How to
It's
think
not
about
investment advice. It's how to use your money as a tool. That's what it is. Yeah.
Give your money purpose and spin your monkey brain around is what that book does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tech to drive. Yeah. Grape drop. Yes. Yes. I agree. Not enough people are talking. Here's the thing about Ripple, right?
Totally, Joanna. Totally.
Yeah, there you go.
Get you a highlighter and notes.
The thing about Ripple, what they're doing with XRP is so advanced, and it's so many splinters. The XRP army does a great job at keeping on top of all of it. But it's one of those things that it's just like you reach a level of like, okay, I got it. I got this. I'm on it. I understand it. It's going to change global banking. I got it. And then you get to the points like, what? It hasn't happened yet? Like all these different banks are just signing on in nation states and all these. I think it was last time I heard 60 different banks in Japan alone. Done. They're in. I'm on it. I'm ready to go. But then you hear the dates and it's like, well, probably January 26th. And then you're like, well, maybe November 25. But even then, this is a point that I want to make to everybody about XRP. You are in so early. You are so early. It's mind blowing to me. Okay. But that physical graph, that chart that is XRP, when it breaks that fundamental level of 75 cents, I'm going to keep using that number. When it breaks that, it's bigger than fundamental. It's an emotional bot trading and traders trading it's going to take off. Now, having said that, what you need to do is stay close with your family and your friends because you know that's the coin. You get to buy it at 55 cents or whatever it is today.
Mm-hmm.
But when it hits $5, they'll believe you. They're not going to believe you until it hits $5. You're going to tell them, look, I got in at 50 cents, 20 cents, or $1. If you bought it a couple of years ago, I bought it at $1, and that thing's going to go to $5. And they're going to go, oh, man, I missed it. And that's going to be like people that are saying, well, man, I missed Bitcoin. It's at 10 grand. No, that's going to be the confirmation for Joe Public, your friends at the barbecue. You say, look, man, this is your last shot at this thing. It's $5. It's going to be 50. Don't be an idiot any longer. I've been telling you about this for 3 years. Everybody's going to think it's too late, but it's not. It's simply not too late, even at all the way up to $5. Yeah. So it's key. And the reason why I want to say that is this. That's your fundamental proof. It's like that coin made it. That coin is now Bitcoin. That coin is now Ethereum. That coin is like chosen one. And it's obvious to the system and everybody in it. And they're not, oh, dude, I got it at $5. It's too late. No. It's just proof that you have the winning horse in the race is what it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not popular to say now. I'll be buying it still when it's worth dollars.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what I can acquire now, it will still be a great buy to me at dollars.
I'm kind of loaded for bear on those, so I don't know if I'll be buying it.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, that's a good
That's a
place.
good spot to be in, Dad. That's a real good spot to be in.
But guys, I don't want to say this because it's really going to bum people out. It could be a year from now. You don't know. But I don't think so. I think this fall, as the legend knows, Mr. Brad himself said this fall. So I'd say we're getting close to fall, depending on where you live. It's still blazing summer where I live. Yeah.
Hey, what's up on the brink?
On the brink.
Yeah, thanks for posting that, Joanna. Check out the newest dip a toe with our brother Quincy Jones.
Yeah.
One of my favorite people I met in Vegas. He's that dude. I could have picked his brain for a week straight. So I'm so thankful. I still have to watch most of that episode, but I'm really stoked they got him.
Did you read Sean's post there?
Yeah, I'm reading it right now.
Hands back on the wheel, sir. On the brink, Becky was in the chat earlier. I don't know if she's still listening or watching, but yeah, she's doing really good. Her texts to me are just, it's worth it. It's absolutely worth all of it. It's amazing how everybody in the crew just jumped on and just said, "Joe, I'm in. Let me help."
Yeah.
$5 here or $10 there or whatever. You're not gonna. One of the points that a lot of people brought up was I was saying, "Well, you got 5,000 coins. Are you gonna miss 50? When the thing goes to 1,000, are you gonna miss 50 of those? You're not. It's not, and you're gonna be able to replace them. So that's really big. Yeah. If it's in your heart, on the brink, go for it. Don't go crazy. We're almost there. And when it won't receive any more coins, that means we're at her cutoff level. So,
and somebody asked, and we're like if it was 25, we're at 19. So everybody was extremely generous, and we're gonna put the Patreon earnings into it and get it there, and don't feel obligated to. We know a lot of people that's counterculture to your thinking and your doing of this. We're not asking you to do that. We just did it ourselves and we put it out there. And my dad brought it up to me, and I feel the same way. He and I would not ask this of you for ourselves.
No.
If Alan and I get scammed, we're not coming on asking for ourselves. We're coming on and asking for someone who is an integral part of this channel for 3 years, who treats all of us like gold, who is older and is going to be way harder to start over. It was all those factors. And when you throw something like this out there, I think the real benefit is like we all become aware of it again.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, don't jump on AI Alan telling you that something's messed up and you got to go fix it.
Don't do it.
It's like one of the, and my dad said it a couple times. I'm going to reiterate, reach out to us before you make some big move that we supposedly needed to do. Just reach out. We do miss a lot of comments. We do get busy, but keep reaching out. The sky's not going to fall tomorrow. So make all your big moves, make them safe. And, if you do lose something, we have people to try to help. There are people who are better at that than my dad and I are. So maybe we can try to recover it. And we're all going to have to get better at all of that as time goes, because we're just seeing more and more of this crap. And it's tough to fight it. It's tough to fight the scam stuff on here. So,
it is.
So we'll stay vigilant and we'll get better at it. And this situation, not only did we all get to be a blessing for Becky, but we get to bring the awareness to it happening and us getting screwed over out of all of our assets. It's like, you don't want to do that.
Frankie, go to the QR code. Go to Allan Staple, ALLAN Staple.com, and there's a QR code there. That's the best way to do it. I want to say this too. There's people in this chat right here that gave thousands of coins.
Yeah.
There's a couple of people in here that when you see that come up on your wallet that somebody would give you thousands of coins, she was blown away. She's like, why would one person do that for me who doesn't know me? You understand how big that is to people? Like it rejuvenates your faith in mankind. And that's so huge for somebody who's sick and ill and thinks nobody cares about them. Her kids and her grandkids care about her, but I mean, the rest of the world cares about her. And it's such a cool feeling to see everybody do that.
It is. I was talking about earlier how to explain all this to people who are getting in. I had a huge argument not a huge argument, but it was an argument for me at a convention with somebody. And my argument was, now that I've acquired a decent amount of crypto, I'm giving it away to friends. What better way to get somebody interested than to give them skin in the game?
So true.
And that feeling that you're talking about, Dad, it's like it's huge. It's huge. That's probably the quickest way to get somebody interested in it.
Yeah. And the easiest one to give away, believe it or not, is Bitcoin. But we were in Alabama, and our waitress at the table, Simon gave her some Bitcoin. And you just do it right through your Cash App. It's right on Cash App. There's you just scroll through, and I think it's links, says link. And when you click
I think Frankie's point is maybe it's topped out. Maybe he couldn't. Is there a cutoff on it?
I don't know. I don't know. I have to look into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peaky, welcome in, bro. I love you, man. I love your positivity and your drive, and I need it. You are awesome, bro. We gotta talk soon.
Yeah, I love that, Linda, too. The best way is a preloaded wallet. Yep, that's good too. That's really good. Yeah. Yeah, people are using XRP way more for purchases today than ever before. It's amazing to me. Like, especially the UAE is all over it. I was listening to a guy talk, and they were talking about AI, and it was an MIT AI conference, and they actually talked about how Ripple was one of the leading companies in using AI for payment around the world. Because like I say this all the time, how's a bot going to write somebody a check or whip out a credit card? That's not going to happen like that, right? So, yeah, they need something for to generate all this electricity, right? I mean, there has to be a profit margin in AI, because anyway, I don't want to go down that whole story, but I think another reason why crypto hasn't boomed right now, guys, is because there's about $1 trillion has been invested just this year in speculative AI. And I happened to talk to somebody who would know, and he said it's massive, Alan. But here's the problem. AI is long ways from being profitable. People are not, the little investor, this is not financial advice, should not be getting into AI yet. There are so many different, like, you'd have to diversify in so many different coins. In other words, it's AI companies instead of coins. They just don't know which one's going to make it. They don't just know which one's going to be the most profitable. They have no clue yet. So they've spent $1 trillion and all of them are losing money. Not all of them, but almost all of them are losing money. And when you hear that, you're like, they're way early on deciding who's going to be the winner. So we're a little further ahead, but let's just imagine if that $1 trillion had gone into crypto instead of AI. So,
and they're all those innovators are going to have to outthink and out legal the big cats, which we've seen in the past is very difficult hurdle to jump over.
Yeah.
Very difficult.
Yeah. No, that's right. Yeah. You want to put Becky's comment up there?
Yeah. Here we go.
Uh,
I want to say from the bottom of my heart how much I appreciated each and every one of you. Words cannot express my deepest gratitude and love to you. Woo.
Real deal.
We love you. I remember when Becky was first coming on the channel, and I remember feeling, because I saw her, like you mentioned earlier, Dad, from other groups.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this person wants to back and forth with us and, you know, be in this thing with us. It's like, whoa, Becky wants to be here. Like Becky was the more of the celebrity. Like, you know, Becky was like, dude, cool. Like, and you know, the more you comment with her, the more you talk to her, the more it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's been
and her reasons, you know, it's like she wants to, you know, help her family with it. Becky's reasons for being in this are as good as anybody's I've heard.
Oh,
you know, Granny Legend, man.
That's it.
I want to see Granny Legend and what she does with all of it.
Grape Drop. I just listened 2 nights ago. No, last night. I finished it last night. An MIT lecture about LLMs and what they're doing with them. Mind blowing. It was really good. I'd heard about them a while back and I was like, wow, what are these LLMs? And I was like, it's unbelievable. I couldn't believe what they were capable of already and what's coming. And I was like, wow, okay, good, fun stuff. And then I heard another little lectures coming up, and I can't wait for that one, which is going to be further about the same.
Thanks for the love, Frankie, man. We love it too. We're so glad that you're here.
Yeah. Frankie, yeah.
This is the family here.
That is.
Bam.
Because I can't just spend money on the cards, I get XRP back. Yeah. Yeah, Oak. Huge, right? Like what is it? Is it Lolly? Does Lolly? I don't know if Lolly does XRP though, but it rounds up and you can, whatever you put on your credit card, it'll round up to the next number and it buys crypto every time you use your credit card. That's very cool. Yeah.
And you get Lolly, you get the benefits with different stores and all that, right?
Yeah. Grape Drop. I used to work for Larry Ellison. I was second officer on one of his yachts for about 3 months. He fired the whole crew, fired the whole lot of us, but wasn't my fault. Trust me.
Wasn't it because one dude was smoking weed?
Yeah,
fired the whole crew.
Yeah,
man.
I was never a big fan of the man, but I hear he's had a big life change in the last couple of years, and he's turned around his vision or his caring for humanity, because he was seriously an SOB when I knew him. Yeah, let's just put it that way. He never had a kind word to say to me, I can tell you that. Everything was a problem. Yeah. But I did get, he was the first guy that was the first boat that I ever drove that was 200 feet. So in that sense, because when you get in big yachts, the captains don't drive. It's the first officer that drives. So I got to thank Giles, actually, my buddy Giles, who was the skipper, hired me on. Yeah, good fun.
That's cool.
Yeah, Grape, I'm glad to hear that he has become a better man, because he has a lot of power and influence, and we need those people at the top. Isn't it odd? Has anybody noticed what one of my least favorite people just did a 180 in public anyway, which was little Mark Zuckerberg the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like,
Mark,
what yeah, isn't all those things you just admitted to like illegal? Oh, dude, like, shouldn't you be like being prosecuted for some of that stuff there, dude? You better hang on and make sure what you're talking about out there in public.
Isn't the country you live in, doesn't that completely contradict unalienable rights?
Yeah.
The very Constitution.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Huh. But I was stoked. I've been stoked on Zuckerberg since you and I first dug into the guy. I couldn't believe it. I was like, thank goodness. It's like we need the truth. I know a lot of people. This is one of those situations, Dad. Like, you and I have always back and forth on. I want everybody to have all the truth up front, and you're like, well, that can create a lot of problems, son. And and I've come to lean more towards my dad's side of that. But this is one of those instances where we all kind of knew it, and the truth and the lies were dividing people, politically, and how they thought of, these certain things, and the way things go in society, particularly in the last 4 or 5 years. I thought it was a good telling of truth, a good spin of like, wow, that's refreshing to hear.
Now all he has to do is give back all the money he made from being one of the initial investors in the vaccine. Mm-hmm. But anyway, we won't go there.
Yeah, no.
Let's not do that. But
yeah. Let's keep the crew on YouTube, shall we?
Yeah, let's. Norm's got. Need to look into this IBC. Ironically, my financial planner had me in a whole life policy for the past 6 years, but I have no idea about the borrowing, the cash availability. Okay, Norm, I will tell you that you can borrow against almost all of them, I'm pretty sure, but some are designed for that use in mind. The other thing is if I'm not a huge fan of IULs, so you may have an IUL, but the other thing about these is that you need to figure out what you have. What you really want is a mutual whole life policy, and not mutual being the company name. Mutual being you're a mutual owner of the company when you have a policy. That's what that means. So it's really kind of like almost like a crypto. Like I mutually own the corporation of XRP with all the rest of the people in here. So therefore, when dividends kick down, they don't go to shareholders. They go to you and I who own the policies. That's in a nutshell how that goes.
That's such a good point. Good question.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was a great question. Yeah, but I feel the same way about Mark Zuckerberg. I'm not a big fan. Well, clearly I'm not. But it seems like the guys at the top, like we were talking about Larry Ellison about Oracle, he's done a 180. I mean, I don't know what you thought of Elon 5-10 years ago, but he seems to have done a 180. I mean, I don't know whether they have in their heart or we'll see what their actions actually back up their words, but it's better than them not.
Mhm.
I really think I said this back in 2020, and I know I said this to both you and Elizabeth when the whole thing happened. This is all exposure. This is all what this is going to be, is exposure. And if you look 4 years later, it has exposed a lot of different things, and we're still going through a lot of that. So I think maybe people at the top are trying to figure out, hey, what's my exit strategy? I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe. Just putting it out there.
Or you get enough of a taste of the lizards where you're like, okay, well, I don't want to become a liar or a politician. Maybe I'll just keep being an innovator and a business person, and
Yeah.
make the main thing the main thing. Whereas, like, if you open up a business in your town, it's like it's to my advantage to provide things that people actually want and like and are going to help them.
Yeah.
Like, just coming back to logic, maybe in a way, is what
The
is.
the
Do
other
I
one
really
is
want to be a part of that, or do I want to be a part of maybe making a difference?
yeah. The other ones, the other two that hit me real hard is, I don't know if you guys watch Russell Brand, but A was like out there, and now he's like way right of center. you
Yeah,
know. And
yeah.
he's just all of a sudden he's like taking on this role of like truth seeker or whatever it might be. There's also another show called Redacted that
Mhm.
that guy used to be a Fox, I believe he was, commentator. And he's done a big 180, and like he does this big Redacted show now with his wife, and they're blowing up. I'll tell you another thing that was really interesting. There was another show, and they were talking about this. They said, isn't it funny that so many of these shows have like 1 million or 2 million followers, right? That they have 2 million subscribers, and then they do a live show and it gets like 150 people in the live stream. Like, wait a minute, like something's fishy there. Like, the channels have been bashed. I'm not saying mine, but many channels have been taken on or not allowed the subscribers, or they're constantly having to, because in the last couple of weeks I've had a lot of subscribers leave, and I'm thinking to myself, well, that's kind of weird. But anyway, doesn't matter to me all that much. I have plenty for what we're doing here. But
Mhm.
like a lot of these channels, they've inflated the amount of subscribers that they have. There's no other way you can look at it. There's like, they just don't, to the point where they don't go live anymore because it shows the absurdity. Like,
Yeah,
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 that's huge.
yeah.
And I'll tell
The
you,
whole thought of that, we could have got on here and
yeah,
front loaded, and there's ways where you can just,
yeah,
you go pay some dude in India, and they pump you full of a bunch of nobodies who don't
yeah.
comment, don't, join you on the live, none of that. But
And
probably to your point, Dad, now for the channels that are as big as ours or going forward, it's like, oh wow, no, people are flooding into this, man. They must
yeah,
be giving the goods over there.
yeah,
That look of more being better now. I think it's BS both ways,
yeah.
you know. And we
Well,
we
well,
only we didn't even talk about it for 30 seconds, and we're like, nope. Nope.
yeah. Well,
So
one of the
cheese.
people that got exposed was, who's the guy that does all the crazy stuff?
Oh,
Beast.
Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast got exposed.
That's what happened to him? I heard something, but wow.
Yeah, found somebody linked. I can't remember what it was, but he was actually getting all that feed money from you or Google. He was actually getting a lot of his stuff funded by Google, especially in the early years. But I don't know. I don't know a lot about it. I guess I probably shouldn't be talking out of school because I don't really know for sure. But yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
It is unreal, Atlantic. It's unreal.
Yeah.
I'm an optimist. I thought it was just going to continue to get worse. Part of me, I was like, we're just going to be told bigger lies and more not truths. And we're going to have to really help each other more and more in the future, which I think
Yeah.
is going to happen anyway. But
Yeah.
for some of the big cats to be coming out in 180 is,
That's right.
again, very refreshing. It's
Yeah.
like a refreshing beverage on a warm day.
And let's remember too, too far right isn't good either. That whole pendulum thing can get really crazy. So,
Mm-hmm.
keep your wits about you and try and figure out what makes sense to you, and just try to stay positive is the key. If you get too caught up in all that, it all becomes negative. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of them moved to Texas there, Grape. So many of them, like Elon and what's his face? Joe Rogan went to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of
Yeah.
them did moved out of LA.
There's another example is Tucker Carlson, man. That whole Fox blow up, and then the people that he interviews now, and
Yeah.
the better to me just a better quality of the shows. My mom started showing me some of his other stuff. I'm like, this is crazy, man. He's letting it all fly.
Yeah, I knew who he was. I'd never
Mhm.
seen his show, never.
Yeah.
And then he did a couple of interviews. I saw the Putin interview for sure. And I'd seen a couple. I loved the interview he did with, that's terrible, I should know, Pavel, the guy,
Mm-hmm.
Telegram, who just got arrested in France.
Yeah.
That's an incredible interview he did with Pavel, I believe is his first name. But yeah, he's done some really good stuff. And I like the way he came up and grew up in Washington, D.C., and he knows all these people personally. And he's like, hey, he basically says, okay, well, you can say anything you want on my forum. What's going on? And then when I'll tell you what was huge was when, what was it? Elon crashed the damn internet with the Trump interview. I think that hit 1 billion views. I heard. I don't know if it's true or not. They hit 1 billion views. So that tells you that maybe all those other channels were being regulated. Maybe I'm just saying. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm a fan of the guy because
Observation.
there's a lot of things about that guy I'm not really into. But yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know that. Great. Larry moved Oracle HQ to Texas.
Yeah.
That was in what, Oakland or Silicon Valley for
Silicon Valley.
forever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man, everything's moving out of Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
They're picking up and moving steak over there.
I'll tell you what else is happening too that we all kind of really should talk about is the university enrollment's down. And I'm like, well, finally.
Yeah.
Finally. Yeah. I was like, wait a minute. Why would you go to university?
I feel like I've heard more examples this week of people who are just like, I'm never getting out of this student debt, And we're approaching that time where, like you were saying, Dad, it's like I want to be able to work from home, and I want to be able to do what I want to do, and I want to innovate. And through the times we've had to go through, it's helped all of us kind of make more ways of doing that. And with the growth of technology, we're able to do it in different ways that we can use technology to advance our jobs and make them more efficient. And I think the coming generation that grew up with tablet in hand, it's just going to make a ton of sense to all of them. I got all the information I can get in 1,000 textbooks right here at the palm of my hand. So,
Yeah.
I just
So
need to go be charming and work it out with people, and
I,
we'll see.
I
We'll
want to
see.
reach out to Grape Drop and say, get a hold of me. I'd like to know more about what you're doing. That'd be kind of cool. Whatever, send me an email or do whatever. Let's see. The Staple Crew is probably the best way to get a hold of me, or alstaple.com. But the reason why I want to talk about that real quick is because we found out, a long time listener of this show, I haven't seen him in the chat today, but he's, after this Becky incident, he said, well, Alan, you know what I do, right? And I was like, no. He's like, I'm cybersecurity for Department of Defense. And I went, oh, that might be handy going forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's kind of a good guy to know. So none of us really know I don't really know what all of you do. So it'd be kind of cool because plumber, whatever. I mean, that's how I met Solar Sammy. I did a video of my property. He goes, Alan, you have a solar array. I can help you out. Man, has he ever. So, and he's helping people. He's helping now Crypto Professor now with some solar questions. So, we're a community. That's what we're doing here. Yes. Yeah. What else we got in there, Brent?
Alspawn brought up Soul. Slave brought up Jasmine earlier, which is kind of a sought after coin out of Japan.
You're free.
Peek at.
Yeah. You froze there for a second.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Solar Sam is the real deal. He is. Yeah. He's helped me out so much.
Professor, I got your number now. I'm going to use it. Can't wait to talk to you. Would love to talk about doing videos. We've been talking about it forever, but we really want to do more stuff on Patreon, and we gotta really put some more attention into that. And so I would love to do, like I've been talking about doing the videos with Simon and Cody, and we've done one already, but I want to get into everything else with you, man, and do our thing on Patreon. So let's get into that.
So let's kind of close this thing up. So Labor Day weekend, let everybody get with their family and do their things.
Yeah. We did an hour and a half, and man, good stuff today, everybody. I was just staring at the chat the whole time.
Yeah, it's been great. Yeah.
This is awesome. Thank you so much, everybody, for what you did for Becky. It means a ton to us too, to have that kind of community, and why we want to do more of the meetups, and why my dad and I just talk about, someday we'll be able to just do this on our phone. We brought that up today, is so that we can go and do these meetups, and you guys make connections, and you become friends, and then we start seeing you all on videos together on your different channels or at meetups. And so that's what we want for you. Not just investment opinions and things like that, but we get friendships, and we get, to do this thing, hopefully do this thing the right way.
We're trying.
We are trying to do
it.
And we're gonna work very hard on it. Both of us are gonna work very hard on what we've got cooking.
We do. We have a lot going on, guys.
This is the busiest 2 weeks I've had with the channel in a long time. So
yeah, we have a lot happening for all of you going forward. So stay close and hang tight. And I think we're really going to help a lot of people figure this financial world out. And, so it's not such a mystery. You're going to be able to understand, hey, that's how that works. And that's how it's a workaround. And we can help you do all that stuff. There's somebody who just joined the chat. She's a little bit late. Teresa, hey girl, she's already taken the steps and moving forward and making a difference in her life. And she's doing it basically with IBC to start, and then later, I guess, with the trust, I would imagine. But it's good to see people moving forward, because all of you have researched so much in crypto and you know it so well and you really understand it. But it's getting to the point now, it's like, okay, well, we know that's going to have a bright future because they're not making it go away. We knew that all along. But now it's proven that no country, all the countries that even thought about banning it have flipped, and they're all coming back to what you and I own. So it's going to be a matter of you to understand what you own and protect what you own as best you can. That's where our focus is going forward. We're going to have fun doing it. Okay, big man, let's get out of here and have a great weekend. I'm going to throw something on the grill here real quick.
I believe you.
Yeah.
Let's go get it. Let's go get it done.
Yeah.
Everybody, much love. Have a great week.